Tables can be a little confusing in Google Docs, especially when it comes to styling them just how we want. Let's take a look at it together. First, I'm going to insert a table. We'll go to Insert, Table, and then choose our table dimensions. Let's do 4 columns and 3 rows. Then, when we click, our table appears. I'm going to do some YouTube magic here to get some information into this table. Here we go. Looks pretty bland and it's difficult to read. Let's start by styling some of the text. We'll highlight these column headers, and once they're highlighted, we can make changes to all of them at the same time. We'll do the same for these row headers. Looking better. Now let's work with these table strokes. This can be a big pain if you don't know where to look or if you're used to another program. Let's start by getting rid of all these inner strokes in the table. To do this, we'll select all the cells and click this little caret drop-down icon. That shows us this interesting little menu that lets us select which strokes we want to edit. We want to edit all the inside strokes of the table, so we'll select this little one here showing us the inside strokes. Then, we see the strokes we're editing highlighted in blue. At the top, we have controls for changing the stroke color, the stroke weight, and dashed or solid lines. To remove the strokes from the table, we'll set their width to 0. Presto, they're gone. Now that I look at it, I think I want to get rid of these outside borders as well. We'll select the whole table and choose the outside border option. Once they're highlighted, we'll set them to 0. We might have gone a little too far. Let's add an underline to these row headers. We'll select, choose the bottom border option, and set our border width and color. Let's do the same for these row headers. Looks great. Then I want to change the background color of these rows so it's easier to read. We'll highlight our row, then choose the color from the background color dropdown. Great. Last, I want to add another row at the very bottom of the table. We can just right-click our last row and we see options for adding new rows and columns in relation to where we right-clicked. We'll add another row below, enter our data, style it to match, and we're ready to keep conquering the world.